Just want to check on the status on Omar Valencia. I know it's kind of early. It's going to be day to day. It looks like he got a very bad foul by
Yeah.
Mr. Slitch. Can you tell us what's his status now, and if any?
Come on, that is the first question now after this tough month. Okay, I don't know, to be honest. So he has some problems with his shoulders. This is what we have to check now the next days, and then I'm pretty sure next week we can give clear answer about his injury.
Next, go to Eric.
Can you just talk about this run? It's a nice little win streak you're on. Do you almost wish the international break wasn't coming so you could just keep on playing games and keep the form going, or you need that break?
Yeah, we need that break after this month, to be honest. And yeah, I don't want to waste my time now because of national break or something like that. So now it's 2 days off, then individual work with a lot of guys next week. And but when we look to this picture, not only to this game today, we played 9 games, we won 6, and I would say especially the response after our loss in against NYCFC is great. And I think it's not only the result, it's also the way to the result, the development of the whole team, the whole group, how we win the games in our style of play. And today also, first half, very dominant. We create a lot of good situations, our build-up, then 2 goals, how we scored was really good. And I think that's a good picture to see after these all games, after these 9 games, and also the mentality, what I said, how we respond after the NYCFC game.
Next, go to Steve.
How you doing, Coach? How satisfied are you in the group feeling after putting together this win streak? And what was your message to the group after you walked out of the locker room?
I'm proud. It's not only to be satisfied. I'm very proud of the whole group of our supporters, that we are going all together in the same direction. And also, when you have some difficult moments in the season, it's normal, and that we are able to answer directly in the way how we want to play. And I'm very proud of the whole group. And with all these rotations which we have done, especially the last 2 weeks, US Open Cup, Charlotte game, all these games, and it's great. And now we can to enjoy as well now after these 3 points today, and then to keep going after the national break.
Next, go to Voss.
Congratulations on the win, Coach. Just wanted to ask you on the development of your side throughout this month. We've seen Wiki Carmona make strides. Daniel Edelman seems to be making strides as well, adding the range to his passing. Can you just talk about the overall, how pleased are you with your squad right now after this very long May stretch?
Yeah, it was the main part. I agree 100%, especially Wiki Carmona against Charlotte. He in our pressing behavior, he was so active from the 10 position today as well. And I would say this was the main part after NYCFC game, that we are also very compact with the ball. This was directly the message on Sunday after the game against NYCFC. And when we feel as a team the whole responsibility against the ball, in our basic behavior, how we scored the first goal today from the far side, come inside and then in a good position, then you have these moments in our transitions. And also to keep the ball in a right structure in our positions, then we are able to have our counter press immediately after losing ball. This is really, really good as a team. And I think that's the main part for me in our development, not only for sure. It gives confidence for the whole group, for us, when you get the results, but the way how we won these games in our style of play, in our clear idea, in our defense behavior, and especially in our offense behavior, to be very compact.
Next, go to James.
Thanks, Sandro. Congrats on the win. Tactically, the setup today featured in the midfield, Emil sort of inverted off the left and Wiki as the most central number 10. Seemed like it opened more space both in front of and behind the Atlanta defense without giving too much away to future opponents. Just what was the thought behind that setup and how it was able to achieve success today?
Yeah, we prepared the structure of Atlanta in the 5-3-2, 3-5-2. So for us was then the main part to bring our right fullback more inside to build up with 3 against 2. And when the 8 position comes out, then we can open the space maybe more for Emil in the 10 space, and then he's directly in the connection with Chupo, and then to bring Wiki more in the half space, and then Peter Stroud as well, and that we have an overload situation, and when it's close in the center, then to go outside. Yeah, that was our idea.
Next, go to Michael.
Coach, congrats on the win. You just touched on Peter Stroud. Talk about his performance today. It felt like, you have someone like Cam Harper who will have a goal and assist. He gets man of the match. But Peter Stroud, throughout the game, making plays, setting up a meal, finding space. It felt like he was doing a lot of work out there. Can you just talk about what you saw from him?
Yeah, exactly. It's the same feeling which I have of Peter Stroud, and sometimes for him it's not so easy with me, and sometimes because we want to see the next step, but especially the last couple of weeks, physically everyone knows he's in a top spot in every season, but now to have the confidence and to stay in, to read the situation very good in these moments when we have the ball, and so he's very active. And also then to have the confidence when he gets the ball with the first touch to check the shoulders and to play forward or to switch to the other side. So really good development of him, especially the last couple of weeks.
Next, we go to Luca.
Coach, congrats on the win. It seemed like in the first half, your team had a lot more possession, obviously the 2 goals, and then in the second half, Atlanta grew into the game. How did you manage that, and were you satisfied with the response, or did you want to keep piling the goals on?
Yeah, this is, for sure, we are preparing all the phases in our game, and first of all, it's every time the same picture. We have to play very intensive against the ball, and how we scored the first goal, it was great. But of course, then when we have the ball, to keep our position, what I said, to feel the responsibility, everyone, and also to stay very close, that we are directly in our counter press. And when we can criticize something, is the second half. Then great save from Carlos in this moment. This is not to forget that. Maybe then this is the next step then to close the game very clear in a right way when you are playing dominant. This is the next step. But when we are talking for the next step after the national break, come on.
Next, we go over here to our right.
Hi, Coach. Congratulations on the win. Just want to talk to you about Cameron Harper. He got the start today, had a quick goal, had the assist. What have you been making of his performance as of late?
Yeah, I said this after DC United in our press conference in Washington. He's a very, very important player for us. Very important, especially with his deep runs, and he's able to solve situations in 1-against-1 with his speed as well to have these deep runs. So and he's a hard worker in our defense behavior against the ball, in our pressing, then to come inside from the far side, how he scored the first goal. So very important player, and it's good. It's good to have him now in a good spot without injury, hopefully. And and this is what we have to continue.
Go back to Steve.
With all the positive recent performances you guys been having, how vital is it for you guys to put yourselves in the top 4 to give yourselves the best chance to come to the end of the season? I don't know, it's early, but
it's very
you look
early.
at the standings, or
It's very early, guys. So now it's national break. I think now we can enjoy this for 2 days, and then to start on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, individual work with these guys, because different load, which they had some guys the last couple of weeks. I think this is now the main focus, and then to keep going, not to think too much what can happen end of the season. So then we have 3 games in June. It starts in Austin, Toronto, and Minnesota. So, and then it's the next tough month, July, 8 games, Philly week. So we have a lot of games, and to find the right solutions for us. But now to calm down and not to think too much what can happen end of the season. More our focus, what we need for our development and for our intensity and energy the whole time. And it starts then on Saturday in 2 weeks in Austin.
Everyone, we have time for 2 more questions, Coach. First, go to Eric, and then we'll finish up with George.
Can you just talk about the center back rotation? I feel like through this month, we probably saw every combination possible of center backs playing together. Talk about the one tonight, Alexander Hack and Noah Isla, but all the center backs throughout this month and kind of rotating them around.
Yeah. And also this is the same after NYCFC. Then we switched with this suspension of Noah Eile and Jean Niels, and then Tim Parker, how he played against DC United very well in the combination with Hack. Then after that, the Charlotte game. Then we switched to the starting lineup from our US Open Cup game, similar. And today was the argument that we have a left foot in our build-up with Haki. When we want to build up with three, so Noah in the center with his quality to break lines and between the strikers when he's passing in the center, and then you have on the left side a left foot, and this was the argument today to have this rotation on the side, and Kyle on the right center back position.
And we'll finish up with George.
Coach, congrats on a win. You guys have been streaking and been playing amazing this month, obviously. Now this break is coming in. One, how do you feel kind of now this is going to stop? And how do you keep this intensity going to try to continue this thing going until the games start again?
Now we can talk a lot about what can happen now after this break or something like that. No, that's the situation. It's good now after these 9 games every week in this month to play Saturday, Wednesday, Saturday. So now it's the national break. That's good, but we don't stop to work. This is also, it's not that we have the next meeting in 2 weeks before Austin. No, we start on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, these training session, and then I'm pretty sure and to build up the next step in our development and what I said, and then in Austin to continue. Then we have 3 games in June. This is the picture then, and then July 8 games, and then to continue month by month.